Hey everyone, welcome to another review, part 3 of my in-depth review of the new Astra Militarum Codex, Astra Militarum, aka Imperial Guard, formerly known as Imperial Guard. So far, what have we gone through? We've gone through the HQs, warlord traits and everything. I think the HQs are a solid section. There's a lot of choices, a lot of great stuff, and I think people are going to create some awesome armies with it. But now that gets us to the troops. Now the troops, I found, the troops weren't, that big of a change. No. Most of the troops stayed basically the same. A couple got cheaper. There weren't any that really got that much more expensive. Not to my knowledge. They removed a couple models, I'm pretty sure, like Commander Chenkov and Ilrahim. They're gone. And Baston, gone. So, yeah. But on top of the troops, there's also some more dedicated transports now. We got some ugly vehicles. Yeah, they're ugly. That's all I have to say. So we'll start off with the troops. Now the troops, obviously if you're an Imperial Guard player, you will have a Platoon Command Squad and an infantry platoon. An infantry platoon, its composition is 1 Platoon Command Squad, 2 to 5 Infantry Squads, 0 to 5 Heavy Weapon Squads, 0 to 3 Special Weapon Squads, and 0 to 1 Conscript Squads. So that's an infantry platoon. Each infantry platoon counts as a single troop slot on the force organization chart. So you can have up to 6 of these gigantic things in a normal army list. Hence all the bodies. The thing about Imperial Guard is you want to play Imperial Guard, you got to be prepared to buy some models and paint some models. Because there's a lot of models. So we'll start off with the Platoon Command Squad. As I said, you have to have at least 2 to 5. So you have to have at least 1 Platoon Command Squad and 2 to 5 Infantry Command Squads. And then after that, you have 0 to 5 in Heavy Weapons, 0 to 3 Special Weapons, 0 to 1 Conscripts. So, start off with the Platoon Command Squad is 30 points, which is identical to the old... Yes, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it changed in points. So it used to be 30, now it's 30. Makes sense. Yeah. And it's the same basically as before. You have a Platoon Commander with a higher Weapon Skill and Ballistic Skill 4. Leadership 8, 2 attacks. Right? The rest of them, like Guardsmen, are all 3s. 1 wound. Leadership 3, 1 attack. Leadership 7. 5 up save for everyone. Pretty much the same. Not much changed here. They were already pretty cheap to begin with, right? You're running 6 points a model for the Command Squad. And that's pretty cheap. Yeah, so there's a bunch of options you can take. They can now take a Torox or a Chimera as a dedicated transport, which I'll be going over the next part of my tutorial. It'll be in this part, but just, in the next segment. So cool stuff. Infantry Squad. Now this is the foundation of your army. Most of your guys will be infantry. And of course there's Guardsmen, Sergeants, and Heavy Weapons teams in there. For 50 points, so 50 points, I don't believe it changed either, you get 9 Guardsmen and Sergeants. So once again, 5 points per model, that is nothing. That is very cheap. And they're the same stat line as before. You can get ranged weapons, so your special rules, there's a Combined Squad, and Heavy Weapons team only. That makes sense. You can... 2 other Guardsmen may form a Heavy Weapons team who must take an item from the Heavy Weapons list. Cool. 1 remaining Guardsman that has not been upgraded with one of the above options, so like a Sergeant or the Heavy Weapons team, or a Vox Caster for 5 points, can replace his lasgun with 1 item from the Special Weapons list. The entire squad can take crack grenades for a point a model, pretty cheap, and they can take a Chimera or Torox as a dedicated transport. Cool. And now the Heavy Weapons Squad. 45 points. So once again got cheaper, I believe. By 5 points, I'm pretty sure it used to be 50. And is now 45. Yes. Or sorry, it used to be 60. So now it's 15 points cheaper. Awesome. Basically the same as before. They can take, for each Heavy Weapons team must take one of the Heavy Weapons lists in the part. So cool stuff. So let's see. What can they take? I'm pretty sure it's just the standard stuff. Heavy weapons, a mortar, autocannon or heavy bolter, missile launcher, could take flak missiles, or las cannon. So pretty much standard stuff from the Codex. Nothing really too jumpy out there. Next is Special Weapons Squad. Also got cheaper, now it's 30 points. Awesome sauce. Special Weapons Squad, 3 guardsmen must replace their las guns with one item from the Special Weapons list, which includes special weapons, sniper rifle, flamer, grenade launcher, hot shot volley gun, melty gun, plasma gun, demolition charge. Yeah. Cool. Special Weapons Squad only can, demolition charge can only be taken by the Special Weapons Squad. So that's cool. And finally, Conscripts. For 60 points, I believe they actually got a little bit more expensive. Yes, they used to be, oh sorry, they were 80, so they got down to 60. So they got cheaper as well. So all the additions, cheaper. Great stuff. They take up to 30 additional Conscripts, 60 points for 20 of them. 1 squad of Conscripts. Wow. So a lot of Conscripts. They're pretty weak. Web skill is skill 2, strength toughness 3, 1 wound, 3 initiative, 1 attack, leadership 5. So the Conscripts, a whole lot of them. You could take a unit of 40, 50 of them. You know, 50 of them for 150 points. That'd be a good tar pit unit. Especially combined with some of the leadership powers of the HQs. Up next is probably everyone's favorite troops choice, the veterans. Now they're always awesome because you always see them Melta vets or plasma vets, typically in most of the competitive lists. And once again, the veterans, they actually got cheaper. Once again, they're now 60 points for 9 veterans and a veteran sergeant. Same stat line as before. So they got cheaper. That's great stuff. As I said, so basically now this codex is just lining itself up with the other armies, getting cheaper like all the other armies are. So you can take more guys, more fun, have a lot more fun. Yeah, they're the same stat line as before. Same basic weapon options as before. But you can take doctrines, and there's the squad can choose any of the following doctrines. There's Grenadiers. The squad replaces his flak armor with carapace armor. That's nice. That's good. For 15 points. So 15 points, now all of a sudden they're getting 4 up saves. Not bad at all. Forward sentries, the squad has camo gear and snare mines. Let's find out what those do, because that's camo gear and snare mines. Camo gear is on page 63. So camo gear, model with camo gear counts as cover save is 1 better than normal, so if it's in the open, it'll have a 6 up save. Cool. So essentially stealth. And snare mines. Enemies, units that charge a unit with snare mines count as having made a disordered charge. Okay. I guess they failed. Some interesting stuff. That's interesting. And then demolitions. The entire squad has melta bombs. 30 points. 1 veteran carries a demolition charge in addition to other equipment. Wow. So melta bombs for 30 points. That's pretty scary. Scary, scary stuff. Finally, Sergeant Harker, which I don't believe is in the new... He wasn't in the new edition, pretty sure. Wasn't in the old edition. Sergeant Harker, 1 squad of veterans in your army may replace his veteran sergeant with Sergeant Harker. If a squad includes Sergeant Harker, it may take the Grenadiers... It may not take the Grenadiers' doctrine, so it can't take the Grenadiers' one to replace his armor. But he has an heirloom of conquest called Payback, and special rules Relentless. So he's on page 38. What I really like about these new codices is that all the pages are really referenced really well, so you can easily go to each one. So Harker is Payback, which is a 36-inch range, strength 5, AP 4, heavy 3 rending gun. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So he made a fun addition. 55 points. Couldn't hurt. So now that we've gotten through the troops, as I said, those are the troops. So the foundation of your army will be the Platoon Command Squad or the veterans. You choose. I really like the idea of running an infantry platoon because it's so much fun. That many models. It's craziness. But veterans are awesome. Veterans are just great because they have ballistic skill 4. So they're always hitting on 3s, which is just awesome sauce. And they typically have a slightly better... a veteran sergeant has an 8 leadership as well. But besides that, you're taking veterans because they're shooting. They have better shooting, so veterans are still going to be a huge part of any competitive army for the Astra Militarum. But an infantry platoon, just as viable as always, just as cheaper than ever, so great. Now for dedicated transports, we have 3 choices now. Used to be just chimeras. Chimeras went up in price, which was a little surprising. I figured they'd go down in price, but they went up in price. They used to be 55 points, and now they're 65 points. They went by 10 points. But they got something called lasgun arrays, I'm pretty sure, which was the new thing that they got. I don't remember lasgun arrays being in the previous codex. So lasgun arrays, a chimera has 2 separate arrays of 3 lasguns, 1 array located on each side of the hull. Up to 6 models in the embarked unit may fire 1 lasgun each from the firing arrays. That's pretty cool. Returned. To represent the unusual nature of these weapons, use the chimera's ballistic skill for these shots. The lasgun arrays can shoot at this ballistic skill regardless of how far the chimera has moved. Cool. Which is 3. Ballistic skill 3. Mobile command vehicle, an officer embarked within a chimera may still issue orders to squads, measure range from any part of chimera's hull. That's a great way to keep your commanders alive. So as always, chimera, great option. Keep your guys alive, put them in a chimera. Armor is 12, 10, 10, 3 hull points, 3 ballistic skill. Great vehicle for 65 points. I know it's slightly more expensive, but still, most things have gotten cheaper. Then up next we have the ugly, ugly vehicles, the Taurochs. Yeah. So Taurochs, 50 points. Let's go learn about the Taurochs, because I don't really want to learn about the Taurochs. The Taurochs is an ugly, ugly vehicle. So Taurochs. The Taurochs version A has the twin-linked autocannon, 10 models capacity. It has 2 fire points on each side of the hull. Taurochs has 1 axis point on each side of the hull and the rear. All-terrain APC. This vehicle rerolls all dangerous terrain tests. And then there's the Taurochs Prime, which is 80 points. And the big thing you get is a better ballistic skill of 4 compared to the Taurochs of 3. And instead you get Taurochs Battle Cannon and twin-linked hotshot volley gun. So I'll look up those and find out how amazing those are. So Taurochs, first the Taurochs Battle Cannon is 48 inches, strength 7, AP 4, heavy 1 blast. That's pretty nasty. That's pretty good for an ugly vehicle. And twin-linked hotshot volley gun. So twin-linked hotshot volley gun is 24-inch range, strength 4, AP 3, salvo, tooth 4. Twin-linked. So that'd be good for killing Marines. Popping Marines on 4s. That's not bad. Taurochs Prime is 2 fire points on each side of the hull, 1 axis point on each side of the hull in the rear, and rerolls all dangerous tests. So that's 80 points. So once again, if you want to take them, take them. I just don't like the look of them, frankly, so that's my opinion on that. But they're not bad. 80 points is a little expensive for protecting the guard. I personally select the Chimera, or maybe the base Taurochs. 50 points, carrying capacity of 10 models. But the 12 model capacity of the Chimera is pretty nice too. So, well, that's it. So this is my part 3 of my in-depth review of the new Astra Militarum Codex. Please like the video, comment in the comment section down below if you agree or disagree or any more points you want to add. And please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you already haven't done so. Really does help a lot. Stay tuned for part 4 where I will be going over the elite section. But just to sum up the troops, they're great as ever, cheaper, awesome, and they keep the flavor of Imperial Guard / Astra Militarum. So until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting everyone.